He is perfectly capable. If he zigs when he should have zagged, if Mike can close the distance in a way that he doesn't expect. So you have to say, how much has Mike Tyson lost from that 20-year-old guy in the 37 years since then? How does he feel now? He might have been excited when he said he wanted to do it, but how does he feel now? You got months and months and months of this.
I just want to see something other than those mitts.
Does he dismiss does he wish he didn't say yes to it?
Joe Rogan has exposed the truth behind the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight. The fight has become the epicenter of controversy once again, as Joe Rogan, one of the most influential voices in sports commentary, has weighed in with explosive allegations. Rogan recently claimed that the bout between the YouTuber turned boxer and the legendary heavyweight was scripted.
It's like Matt always says, play to your strengths.
Yeah,
no
but
doubt.
you know, you got to take that payday. I mean, what did he make out of that fight? He probably made $10 million or something.
Yeah,
and Jake Paul's very smart, man. Like he gets guys that he's bigger
than,
the only
younger
time
than.
He fought another boxer his size was
He
Tom
lost.
Fury, and he lost. Tom Fury?
Good fight.
Tommy Fury.
Very
Tommy
good
Fury,
fight.
yeah.
Very good fight.
Rogan's statements have sent shockwaves through the sports world, igniting debates about the authenticity of the fight and the credibility of celebrity boxing as a whole. During a recent episode, Rogan dissected the fight in his trademark analytical style, pointing out what he described as glaring signs of choreography. He explained that the pacing, the lack of aggressive exchanges, and certain interactions between the fighters appeared unnaturally coordinated. Rogan said that he has been around combat sports for decades, and what he saw in that fight was not a genuine competition. It was entertainment, plain and simple. He explained that the way Jake Paul and Mike Tyson interacted, it felt like a performance designed to ensure both fighters walked away unscathed and incredibly rich.
How's his health? How's his back? How's his knees?
Seems to be having fun when he's promoting it.
Yeah.
You know, he seems to be
It's
into
also-
It's
it.
probably on mushrooms, bro.
Rogan also referenced the viral leaked audio clip in which Jake Paul allegedly tells Tyson, "I got your money," as potential evidence supporting his claims. While the audio has yet to be verified, Rogan suggested that moments like these further undermine the fight's credibility. Moreover, Rogan highlighted several moments in the fight that he believes point to it being scripted. He noted that Jake Paul, known for his aggression and knockout power, seemed to hold back when he had opportunities to dominate Tyson. Conversely, Tyson, despite flashes of his old brilliance, appeared to pull punches at critical moments. Joe Rogan argued that the fight's structure seemed designed to ensure it lasted the full 8 rounds, maximizing entertainment value without jeopardizing either fighter's safety.
I think they're making him have slightly bigger gloves.
14 ounce.
14 ounces.
14's
That's so sparring
pretty
gloves.
big.
Yeah, and it's not
Almost.
sanctioned, right? It can't be sanctioned.
It's sanctioned.
It's sanctioned?
It is sanctioned.
How do you sanction that?
Texas.
Yeehaw. Same place you can own a giraffe.
The entrances, the in-ring banter, and the way the fighters seemed to play to the crowd felt more like a WE event than a genuine boxing match, Rogan claimed. His comments have added fuel to an already raging fire of skepticism surrounding celebrity boxing. Social media erupted following his remarks, with fans and critics alike debating whether the fight was indeed rigged. Joe Rogan's remarks have reignited the debate about the legitimacy of crossover and exhibition fights. Critics argue that these events prioritize spectacle over sport, undermining boxing's credibility. On the other hand, supporters contend that these fights draw attention to a sport that has struggled to maintain mainstream appeal in recent years. The controversy also raises questions about the future of celebrity boxing. If fans begin to perceive these bouts as scripted, the novelty and excitement that drive ticket sales and pay-per-view purchases may fade.
I want to be a world champion. That's my goal.
Who are you fighting next?
Joe Biden, literally. People are just really hating.
What if some people just think it was not that entertaining of a fight?
Several days have passed since Jake Paul claimed victory over Mike Tyson by unanimous decision, but the buzz surrounding the fight shows no signs of fading. Online discussions are ablaze with speculation, including heated debates about whether the bout was staged. Adding fuel to the fire, a supposed fight script has been making rounds on social media. Amid the controversy, Olympic bronze medalist Tony Jeffries has weighed in, offering his perspective on the polarizing showdown. On Instagram, the ex-boxer reviewed the script meticulously, dissecting each line and matching it against the real fight. The script outlined Tyson's opening strategy, an aggressive onslaught, marked by relentless bobbing and weaving to kick things off. Jeffries said, "That's exactly what was going to happen. Would Mike Tyson come out and start moving on his back foot and not bobbing and weaving his head like he always has done?" Reacting to the first round, the script also indicated that Tyson would start with a jab, with Jeffries commenting, "Jab is what you lead with, and yes, that's the punch that every fighter throws when the fight starts." Overall, Jeffries found round 1 of the script pretty accurate, as the the Olympic bronze medalist quickly advanced to round 5, he was eager to see how the fight ended in the script. The script claimed the fight ended in the 5th round, with Jake Paul delivering a decisive right hand that knocked out Mike Tyson. Jeffries dismissed this outright, saying, "Obviously this did not happen, so this script is full of BS." Jeffries concluded, "In truth, there was no knockout, not even a knockdown, a fact that, ironically, was what made the fight so tedious in the first place. By now, it's evident the fight wasn't staged or prearranged." While frustration over the result is natural, claiming it was rigged ventures into an entirely different realm. Jeffries echoed this sentiment, wondering aloud if Tyson might have strayed from any supposed script during the bout. Continuing to discuss the bout, Jeffries questioned, "Did they go off script?" He remarked, "Boxing is not an old man's sport, it's a young man's sport," acknowledging that there have been champions like Bernard Hopkins who thrived in the 40s. However, he noted that Tyson was in his late 50s, which contributed to his loss. Jeffries posed a thought-provoking question. "Do you think Mike Tyson would lose a fight to earn some more money?" Jeffries questioned why Tyson would consent to lose for a few $1,000,000 extra when he is reportedly making $20 million for the bout. He said, "Mike Tyson, who's a multimillionaire, doesn't need any money right now whatsoever." Jeffries further argued that despite the claims of the fight being scripted, time really does take its toll, especially when you've not been living the life of an athlete for over 20 years. He also brought up an intriguing point. Why didn't Jake Paul simply punch Tyson out if he was really past his best? Jeffries answered this, stating, "The reason why Jake didn't knock him out was because he couldn't knock him out. If you know anything about boxing, what happens when you rush forward and you try and knock someone out? You leave yourself open to get countered, or to get caught with shots yourself." Much to the relief of many spectators, Paul fell short of securing a knockout against his 58-year-old rival. However, he claimed a decisive victory over Tyson, with the judges handing down scores of 80-72, 79-73, and 79-73 after 8 intense 2-minute rounds. The sheer scale of the event underscored Paul's remarkable ascent in the boxing world. In just 4 years since his professional debut, he has amassed an impressive record of 11 victories against a single loss. A key figure who believes he played a pivotal role in shaping Paul's path is former world heavyweight champion Shannon Briggs. The veteran fighter lent his expertise to the problem child during the formative stages of his career. Briggs keenly watched as Paul and Tyson crossed paths, offering his perspective on whether the fight carried the shadow of prearranged outcomes. He said, "No, I don't think it was rigged. I think Mike should have thrown more punches." Moreover, Shannon Briggs has recently asserted that he is too responsible for Tyson's defeat by Paul. Early in his career, Briggs worked with Paul, and he described how that helped shape the boxer we see today. Briggs said, "I feel responsible because I feel like I created this monster. We developed what you see now with YouTube boxing. It's crazy." Briggs also talked about the things he wished Tyson had done differently during the battle. He said, "I would have liked to have seen Mike throw more punches. I wonder why he wasn't. He should have went crazy and got busy and took it to him." Originally scheduled for July, the event was delayed due to a flare-up of Tyson's ulcer, heightening concerns among many about the 58-year-old's return to the ring. Iron Mike donned a knee brace during the fight, but found it difficult to exhibit the ruthless aggression that had once earned him the title of the baddest man on the planet. Nevertheless, he avoided being stopped and continued the complete distance. Lennox Lewis, once Tyson's rival and now his friend, was present at the fight to cheer on his former adversary. The two had faced off in 2002, with Lewis emerging victorious by stoppage. When Lewis faced Tyson, he was the undisputed heavyweight champion. Reflecting on his upcoming bout with Paul, he condensed his feelings into a mere 5 words during his conversation with ES News. He said, "Glad nobody got knocked out." In an interview with Fight Hub TV, Benavidez summarized Iron Mike's performance in just 4 words. He said, "He needs to retire." Benavidez went on to discuss his reasons for not wanting to see the legendary boxer return to the ring. Benavidez mentioned that it was a good fight and a successful event, but he expressed his hope that Mike Tyson would retire from fighting. He remarked that Tyson had put on a good show, earned a well-deserved paycheck, and avoided injury, which he was happy about. While acknowledging Tyson's legendary status, he pointed out that a 58-year-old Tyson is not the same as the Tyson of the past.
To be honest with you, I think it was a good fight, good turnout, but I don't want to see Mike Tyson fight no more. I think he hopefully hangs it up. I think it was a good show, but shit, he needs to retire.
Tim Bradley, a Hall of Fame fighter, voiced his opinion on his YouTube channel, claiming that fans had been duped and asserting that Tyson didn't do a thing. He said, "Just watch the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight. Told you, Jake Paul is a bum. I tried to tell you guys. Straight up con artist. He's a magician. He's going straight to the bank. Bradley added, Mike Tyson's the one who sold this fight. I told y'all, 58 years old, all that wear and tear on his body. He's a senior citizen, basically. He didn't do anything to Jake Paul. Probably landed 1 or 2 punches all night, if any. It's terrible, man. Bradley encouraged Paul, who now stands at 11, one after the victory, to take on a serious opponent who was his own age and weight. He said, Jake Paul, come on, fight a real fighter, bro. You want to get respect in the game, or you just want to milk it like you're doing right now, just picking the best names? If you want respect from the boxing fans and the boxing community, you gotta fight a real fighter. Bradley added, Tommy Fury got in your rematch that guy. Make that wrong, right? And then step up and face somebody else. You can't beat anybody in the top 15. It don't matter what sanctioning body, you can't beat them. So stop fooling the public. Stop fooling yourself. Take on a real challenge and stop picking on the old heads in the game, man. The day following the event that was streamed on Netflix, Frank Bruno posted his thoughts on Instagram about the fight, describing it as challenging to watch. He said, well, it was a challenge trying to watch the fight. It was not great, was it? But if, as a business deal for Mike, it worked, good luck to it. The former world champion added that it wasn't beneficial for boxing as a sport, even with record viewership. He said, if it bought millions of people who don't watch boxing, football, to watch out of interest, okay. But for me, what was always called the noble sport lost a bit of its nobility. Tyson has acknowledged that it was his final fight, despite making insinuations to the contrary in the ring. Paul advances with an impressive 11-1 record, now boasting a victory over a heavyweight legend, yet the full narrative goes beyond statistics. He's resolute in his belief that a clash with unified super middleweight champion Saul Canelo Alvarez is imminent in the cruiserweight division, despite Canelo's apparent disinterest in such a fight so far.
Everyone's biggest critique is like, fight a pro, fight this person, fight someone your age. So when I say Canelo is the person, then everyone hates on that. But I'm like, all right, sheep, what do you want? People just want to see me lose. So wouldn't the best opportunity to see me lose be going up against Canelo?
Absolutely.
People will never be satisfied with my career until I get flatlined. Then they're gonna be happy. So what excuse does the audience have? Does Canelo have when that happens?
However, Jake Paul has announced that he's ready to take on Daniel Dubois, following a challenge from the IBF heavyweight world champion, who extended an offer for a title bout through Instagram by D-Ming Paul on Instagram and promising him a chance to compete for the world heavyweight title. Dubois is the most recent boxing legend to criticize the 27-year-old. Dubois wrote, Hi Jake, good business on the weekend, but how would you feel fighting for the legitimate heavyweight championship of the world? This is Daniel Dubois calling you out. Let's get it on. Paul replied by sending a photo of a ticket dispenser labeled Get in Line, followed by a screenshot of their conversation captioned, Dude's been boxing for 12 years, has more than 100 fights, both amateur and pro, and was on my undercard. Ha ha ha. But it. I'm going to have Nakisa talk to Frankie Warren and get you in line for the throne. Unlike Artur, at least you have a few thousand fans. In a match that defined his career, Dubois defeated Anthony Joshua on September 21st at Wembley Stadium to maintain his IBF World Heavyweight title. The so-called Kingslayer stunned Joshua 4 times before knocking him out in the 5th round in front of 98,000 spectators. On February 22nd, fans anticipated that AJ would fight Dubois, but Eddie Hearn has stated that with the fast turnaround, Joshua might not be prepared in time. As a result, Dubois and his promoter Frank Warren are considering other possibilities, including Joseph Parker and Fabio Wardley. Nevertheless, it seems like Dubois has other plans and would like to fight the YouTuber turned boxer in the future.
Crazy scenes in the boxing world today, as always with our sport guys, as heavyweight champion of the world, Daniel Dubois has called out Jake f***ing Paul. What is going on? I don't really know what the fuck Daniel Dubois is thinking with this, but let's be honest, it's probably not serious. It's probably him just having a bit of fun and doing a bit of clout chasing. But have you guys noticed, every time Jake Paul gets called out by a real boxer of a good level, he always shuts it down in some way and makes an excuse?
Dubois isn't the only legendary figure in boxing to challenge Paul. The 27-year-old has also been targeted by Beterbiev, who recently triumphed over Dmitry Bivol to claim the undisputed WBA, WBC, IBF, and WBO light heavyweight titles. After Friday's bout, the reigning champion of the 175 pounds division took to social media, signaling his readiness to defend his titles against the YouTuber turned boxer. He wrote, Jake Paul, what can you do in the ring against the current undisputed champion? Just know that I'm always open to any suggestions. Former super middleweight champion Carl Froch also took to social media to call out Paul, writing, I will tie one arm behind my back and finish you for good. To which Paul responded, sour loser, shut the f*** up. I've done more in 4 years than you have in your life. First and last time, I respond to your broke salty ass. Let me know if you want to wash my cars. Froch was less than impressed with Paul's reply and snapped back, "Listen up, Jakey boy. I'm 11 years retired, not done a round of boxing for over a decade. I'm old, gray, and out of shape, but I'd still give your missus the best night of her life. I bet she dreams about a real man. Let me know if you still want your cars washing. She can let me in through the back door. P.S. I'd knock you out in 30 seconds. You are useless." Following consecutive wins against bitter rival George Groves, Froch retired from boxing in 2014, having won 33 of his 35 professional fights. Even if he may not be interested in facing Froch, Paul acknowledged that before Dubois's call-out, he was considering facing Canelo Alvarez, current super middleweight champion. "Canelo needs me, so I'm not even going to try and call him out," Paul said after beating Tyson. "He knows he wants a payday. So, he knows where the money man is at." Jake said, "He's going to want a payday, and I want to show the world all the stuff I've been talking about. Beating Canelo is true, and I'll have the biggest upset in the history of boxing. We'll fight to really see who is the face of boxing, because after this event, I'm going to be claiming it." Meanwhile, Logan Paul is extending a sincere apology to his brother Jake following the uncomfortable aftermath of Jake's impressive victory over Mike Tyson. During the post-fight interviews at AT&T Stadium, the WWE superstar stood behind his brother and was criticized for overshadowing Jake's special moment. However, Logan maintains that his intentions were pure, claiming his presence was meant to help elevate his younger brother's new brand. Following Paul's victory, which many viewers watched through a glitchy and lagging Netflix stream, the 27-year-old was quickly swarmed by the media and fans for an interview. During the chaos, Logan got a bit overzealous promoting his W body care line. While doing so, he inadvertently sprayed the product into the air, causing Jake's hat to fly off. Awkward. Some fans on social media speculated that Logan was trying to upstage his younger brother, but he quickly cleared the air, insisting it was a complete accident. Logan confessed he felt so stupid and regretted ruining one of the biggest moments of Jake's life. But hey, at least Jake smelled amazing after going 8 rounds with Tyson, he quipped. So to make it up to Jake, Logan urged his followers to check out the full W lineup. The internet immediately began speculating about what was in the can that Logan Paul sprayed on Jake Paul after the video went viral. The elder Paul has now shared the video on his body care Instagram page, captioning it, "Stop wondering what Logan Paul was spraying on Jake Paul." Meanwhile, Mike Tyson shocked everyone by ruling out a rematch when asked about his future plans after losing to Jake Paul. Rather than that, he boldly challenged Logan Paul. "I don't think so. Maybe I'll fight his brother," he told Ariel Helwani, who was probing into his retirement plans. Jake and the others froze, their gazes snapping to Logan, their expressions a mix of disbelief. Sensing the tension building, Logan fired back with a fierce warning, promising to kill Tyson. This was particularly striking, considering that only months earlier, Logan had been unsure about stepping back into the ring. In the meantime, WWE Hall of Famer JBL has voiced his belief that the Paul brothers deserve a spot at WrestleMania. On the Something to Wrestle podcast, JBL lauded Logan and Jake for their impressive accomplishments, especially in the realms of sports and entertainment. He expressed enthusiasm about the prospect of having both Jake and Logan at WrestleMania, describing them as incredible for their remarkable success. He added, "They've done incredible things, and with their internet, with their YouTube that they're doing, it's a story that's beyond belief. Those guys have gotten over, and they're making hundreds of millions of dollars in career earnings because of the fact that they've gotten over." More than 100 million people watched Friday's Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson battle on Netflix, but the family of boxing's greatest champion is among the many fans who are now criticizing Paul for the bout. Here are the thoughts of Muhammad Ali's grandson and daughter regarding Jake Paul following his altercation with Mike Tyson. In recent interviews, Rashida Ali Walsh, daughter of the legendary Muhammad Ali, shared that while her father would likely respect the earnings of today's boxers, he would have been put off by Jake Paul's apparent cash grab. Specifically, he would have disapproved of the spectacle of matching a 58-year-old past his prime, Mike Tyson, against an opponent barely half his age. Rashida Ali Walsh told the Daily Mail, "Daddy would have been mortified, because back then, boxers didn't really make that much. They were fighting for their lives, and I think as my dad started to make boxing more entertaining, that's when people came on board and how boxers started to, after my dad, make a lot of money." Over the course of his remarkable career, Ali, who briefly resided in Cherry Hill in the early 1970s, earned over $57 million. In contrast, the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson showdown raked in over $17 million in gate revenue, with sources revealing that Jake Paul walked away with roughly $40 million, while Mike Tyson took home an estimated $20 million. Nico Ali Walsh, a budding boxer and the grandson of Muhammad Ali, attacked Jake Paul on social media. Muhammad Ali's grandson also criticized the fight, saying his grandpa would have been equally harsh, even though he didn't openly challenge Jake Paul to a battle, read Nico Ali Walsh's post on X. "Jake Paul is an embarrassment to this sport." He added, "If my grandfather was still around, he'd call him out. Absolutely no shame. Love you, Mike." A comment on Walsh's Walsh's tweet asked whether Nico would take on Paul next. Other respondents stated that Paul would not stand a chance against Nico or any other respectable fighter. However, Walsh did not answer the question. Meanwhile, Sylvester Stallone, renowned for portraying the iconic Rocky Balboa, took to Instagram to praise Tyson's performance, calling it one of the greatest Oscar-winning performances of all time. In his fight against the social media sensation last Friday, Stallone wrote, "Just to set my personal record straight, business is business. Sometimes you have to do some things you have to do sacrifice for the sake of helping your family. I have known this unbelievable athlete since he's 19 years old, and what we saw was him giving one of the great Oscar-winning performances of all time." He added, "So in conclusion, I'll take a line from Rocky. He's a wrecking machine. Anything he touches, it breaks badly. Keep punching, Mike. There will never be a man like you, a gladiator like you, and a soul like you. Keep punching, champion of champions." On the other hand, Mike Tyson has stated that their friendship is the true trilogy in response to Evander Holyfield's request for a third chapter in their boxing rivalry. Following the recent fight, Holyfield shared a playful mock fight poster on social media, hinting at his interest in a third showdown with his longtime rival Tyson. However, Tyson doesn't seem to share the same enthusiasm. "I love you, brother, but the trilogy is our friendship," Tyson said in response to Holyfield's post. So, that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos.